Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing well this fine Sunday morning in the middle of July. The middle of July. Can you believe that? I mean, we're in the middle of July. I mean, it feels like it was just January. We were just getting done with Christmas. Where does time go? You know, my dog's going to be 10 this year. Oh. My war dog. The other baby's going to be 8. I mean, those are my girls. And she's at the door because she knows I'm out here. She comes in here and goes, okay, I'll hang out with you. And then my son wakes up and then she runs into the kitchen. And then we close the door because we don't want to hear the grandkids or anything like that. And instantly, it's like, oh my God, I can't go out there. So now she just sniffs on the door and you hear her breathing. Like, can somebody get me out here? So I wanted to talk about a bunch of things, and bear with me. I have a lot to say. And it's a lot of stuff I shouldn't say. I should just keep my mouth shut. But, I don't care. But that's the way I've been my entire life. I don't care. I'm going to open my mouth, and that's the way it's going to be. And we're going to talk about a few things. But first off, thank you to everybody that bid on the auction. We got rid of mostly everything. I've got one guy that I think is going to stiff me because we were in constant communication, and then all of a sudden for the last 3 days I've heard nothing after they won. So it could be they're gone for a weekend or something like that. I wrote 4 emails, but I'm going to put this out there because I'm not going to throw the person under the bus, because that's not right either, because we don't know. But this happens a lot in these auctions. So the Zombicide all in, if that is something you are interested in, if I do not hear from this person by the end of the day Monday, then after 4 days and 4 emails, I think you kind of assume that the person's not going to take the lot. So if you want to make an offer for the Zombicide Dead or Alive all in Kickstarter, please email me at novaprime860@hotmail.com, and whoever has the highest offer, what I'll do is I'll contact you and say, hey, you have the option of getting this or not. You don't have to. I offered it to another person. He might take it, but we'll just see if we can get close to what was bid. And if that's the case, we'll get it out for you right away. And I'll even eat the shipping on this one. How's that? As long as you're not in, bum hell, other side of the world. Tasmania or something, where it's going to cost me more than what I'll make. Let's see. Yeah, so we covered that. My vacation's coming, and it's just going to be longer and longer. It's not really a vacation, because you'll see at least one video a week, and they'll probably be playthroughs unless something comes across the table that I have to do a review for. But I'm going to cut way back for a bit, take a nice long breather. And there's a reason for this. There's a few reasons for it. It's not cool to be an old guy in this game anymore. People have a lot of hate towards older gamers. They want to change the climate and stuff like that. Okay, not a big deal. But being an old school guy a lot of people like to run their mouths on the internet. And I never could understand that because, after the events of yesterday, it really comes down to, good morning, Rob, and everyone. Hey, Monster, how are you? TT for life. It comes down to now where people are just spewing off at people, particularly online. And that was never the case in my time. And I never thought I would get to a point where I'd be like my father or my grandfather. Well, you kids today, and as a kid, looking at them going, what are you talking about? We're just living our lives. You guys are wrong. And I'm sure that's the same thing that goes on here. But I think because of the internet, it's such a different thing. It's such a weird thing. You could say whatever you want and hide behind a keyboard. And then think that you can apply it to real life and people. And you see it out in the streets now where they think they're behind their phones and stuff and say nothing and that nothing's going to happen. You see, the old days, if you ran your mouth, you were going to have to knuckle up. Okay? And you had to be prepared for that. Because if you believed in what you said so much, you're going to knuckle up. Okay? Because if you say the wrong thing, you're going to have to stand by those words. Nowadays, people can say whatever they want. Whatever they want. And there's no ramification. And now it's trying to spill itself into the new world, into the real world. Particularly, some of these things that you see on the internet, or maybe these things have always happened. It's just because the world's become so small that they kind of spill over, and it's really scary. It's scary. You can't go to a store, and if somebody gets pissed off and starts screaming and yelling and stuff like that, if you go to say, oh, okay, you want to do this, let's go do it, and then you're going to be the one that gets blamed for it, and you're going to be the one that gets in trouble for it. And it's just, people don't have any restraint or respect anymore. And I just feel that in this particular instance, and this is going to lead into something because I want to talk about a guy that is a friend of mine, Tom Vasel. And the Tom I know, because there's a lot of things that have been said that really aren't true. And he shouldn't have to... I want to tell you the guy I know, okay? And trust me, we're not the best of friends. We don't talk all that often. It's not that we don't dislike, we don't like each other or anything like that. We just don't communicate. I mean, he's got this, big, huge business he's got to run and all these employees. And, I live on a farm, right? Right. There's my son coming out. He's going to go feed the cows. And it's just gotten to a point where, this here, as much as I like doing it, is as much as I want to get away from it. We live out in the middle of nowhere now, and do you hear that barking? We live out in the middle of nowhere, and there's a reason for it. Okay, I think we just believe that something. We'll just stay off on our own, leave people alone. And, if this is the way the world's going to be, we'll find our own way. We have our own water. We have our own power. We have our own internet. It's not the greatest, as you know. We have our own, we create our own food. All right. And, we need very little. I mean, we can sustain ourselves. And my whole family is here. It's not just me and my wife. It's my children, my grandchildren, my mother-in-law. Okay. And if my brothers needed a place, we have room. And we have enough land to sustain ourselves. Okay. And that's the way it's kind of going, because the world is getting really weird. It really is. And it's a funny thing, because for the most part, I was a young boy during the 60s, and I remember a lot of things that just stick in my head, and early 70s, and how things were. And it seems that history always repeats itself in some ways. Yesterday, somebody trying to assassinate somebody. For what? For what? No, nobody appreciates human life anymore. And people build up such a resentment for all kinds of things, and they focus in on something. There's always got to be some kind of drama. It's because of this. Because of what we're talking on right now. Instead of using it for the power of good, okay, where you can get across certain information, and there are a lot of very unique things out there that are very good. I've discovered different types of music on this. I've discovered different games, or the way people do things differently, and watch. You can learn so much. Like, something went out on one of our fridges one time, and we looked it up, and there was a video on how to repair it. And we said, we don't have to call a guy. We can do it ourselves. Those are amazing, amazing things that you can do. You can never do that back in, when I was younger, or when I was a lot of your ages. But, with every bit of good, there's almost double the bad. Dismissing, making an opinion on somebody without facts. Talking and destroying people. All people. Not just a group of people. Everybody. Everybody's at each other's throats, instead of there's so much division. And even there's not even open-mindedness. You take the two political parties in a way, and their thing, okay? You have this extreme left that seems to have, and what people don't realize, that it's a pendulum. It swings both ways. It really does. Because back in the 80s, the far right, with their evangelists who were smuggling money and laundering money, and what they were doing to women, my God, was disgusting. Okay, and then they go, "Oh God, please forgive me." Forgive me, I have sinned. Does everybody remember all the evangelists on the far right that were absolutely power hungry and out of their minds? Okay. And then that went away, and now we have this thing on the far left where, people don't even listen. They don't even talk in any kind of reason anymore. There's no seeing both sides of the story. It's even if something is so grossly wrong in front of them, they will find a way to defend it. Instead of going, that isn't exactly right. I believe in this, but that particular part of it isn't wrong. Maybe if we fix this, we can come to some kind of middle ground. There's no middle ground. It's either one way or the highway. And it's a very scary, scary, scary thing, and a scary time. And I think you know, even on this channel, some of the comments and the rudeness, you wouldn't do that to me in front of my face. You wouldn't do it. I guarantee you, you wouldn't do it. And it makes me scratch my head because I know how I am. There's another one of the reasons why I don't go to some of these conventions. Because people have ran their mouth. And I said, boy, if I see that guy, I'm going to stretch him. And I just know how I am. I'm too old school. And maybe it is wrong nowadays. Or maybe it's right. Maybe it's right in a way. Which leads me to kind of what I wanted to lead into now. And that's kind of how we're talking about all this. And just plain old shock value. Okay? Everybody, if you create a channel just full of drama and you find the key points, you are going to get all kinds of growth. You'll get views because people love drama nowadays. And it doesn't matter whether it's correct or not, but there seems to be some people that have been attacking Tom Vasel lately. And saying things about him that are very untrue. And I can sit here and tell you after, you know, again, I'm going to make this point very poignant. In the fact that he and I are not, you know, somebody that spend time talking to each other all the time. When we see each other, we're very cordial and very kind to each other. I like Tom. I like the Rodneys. You know, those two guys, you know, Rodney, I think I have a better relationship with. Oh, there's my little pal Liz. How are you? And while we're not... here comes the grandkids. Hold on. We'll just let everybody kind of walk through the house because they all went out to Cracker Barrel this morning. Yeah, take off your shoes and get in the house. Did you have pancakes?
He did. Yeah, I had bacon and pancakes.
Here, come here, boy.
And Emery had a biscuit.
Emery had a visit. We had her birthday party yesterday.
Okay.
And I'll continue on this.
Well, I even got a mushroom.
What do you got there, bro?
A lizard.
Let me see.
Yep.
Whoa. He got a lizard. Here, come here. Show him your dinosaur shirt. Come here, man.
This.
Come here, my man. Is that your dinosaur shirt?
Yeah.
Now, are you going to fight me
No,
to be
I'm
king?
not. No, I'm not.
You said yesterday you were going to fight me and be king. Because I'm king.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah? Are you done with that?
Yep. Last night I got a boo boo on my foot.
Yeah, from going down the big slide. All right, get out of here.
Yep.
Here, come here, Em.
I'm going down now.
How old are you now, Emery?
I'm 5.
You're 5.
Yeah. I got
What did you get?
A mushroom.
That's cool. And here's Gabby. So now, you know, this stream is completely ruined. Say hi, everybody.
Hi. Mom.
Oh, you want your lizard? All right, get out of here, bro.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right, get out of here.
Oh, bye-bye.
Easy, easy.
Please stop.
Oh my God, dog's licking. All right.
I do not like licks.
No, you don't like licks. All right, get out of here.
Mommy's up.
Keep going. She could stay if she wants. Go ahead, Gab. Oh, what a family. Yeah, he told me, okay. He goes to me, right? My grandson, he goes, Pop, if you're king, I'm going to get stronger, and I'm going to fight you, and I'm going to become the new king. I go, oh, really? Really? Is that the way it works? He goes, oh, yeah. Then he takes off his shirt, and he's like flexing and stuff like that, and he's all acting all jacked up. He goes, oh, I have the power, like he's He-Man. Now, he's not talking any junk now, because I stretched him a little bit. See? Perfect example. So anyways, to get back to the subject about Tom, I'm going to read some of these comments first before I finish my thoughts, because I got to regather them. I start work again tomorrow. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. And oh, by the way, Liz, that game Arcs is glorious. I got to get my hands on the expansion. And I bet you 10-1 that you're going to be working on some kind of solo part for that, because I'll tell you right now, that game is glorious. And my video comes out this Thursday. Thanks for helping me out with that, by the way. Jay Rodriguez, name the a-holes. I don't even know the guy's name. I saw a video. I may not always agree with Tom, but the little stuff I've seen about Tom is definitely people trying to stir up trouble. Yes. I played some games with Sam Healy yesterday. It was awesome to meet him. Well, that's cool, Matt. Hi there. My old pal Rob. How are you? Ha ha ha. She's adorable. Morning, Rob. Happy to see you doing well. Thank you, Ethan. Alexis, every king someday must prepare for succession. Yeah, I guess so. My bro, the Brew Geek. Hi, Rob. Good to see you're back on your feet. Yeah, it was a long road. But anyways, I want to be fair, because I don't think people know the man behind the camera. And for a long time there, for a couple of years, I was doing my job, okay, working for the military. Then I'd work on this channel. And then I would drive down to Homestead, and film stuff with the guys. Z, this is back when Sam was there. It was Sam, Z, and Tom. Go to every convention with them, okay? Try to take care of my own stuff in my own world, But, I would go down there for an entire day. I would leave at 3 o'clock in the morning. Drive 4 hours, get there about 7 o'clock. He would give me the key to the gate, because you have to get through a gate, and then we would meet up at his house, okay? We would do whatever we were going to do, okay? And then more than likely I would have lunch or something with him, and then, drive 4 hours back home, all right? And do that all in one day. And then get ready, go back to work the next day. All right. And they work during the week, so I would work double duty the following day for my job, and then pass out on Friday evening and wake up sometime on Sunday. But we were always doing things and getting to know him and his family, and I did. This is a guy that loves his family more than life itself, okay? His wife is the kindest, wonderful... It wasn't an act. Because after a while, when the kids would act up, and he had the kids were smaller then, and they were always acting up. Here's a man that's also been through something where he's lost a child, okay? And yet, his faith was unshaken, okay? I broke bread with his family. We would all sit at the table. This is a man that his faith was very strong, and his resolve and his will, were unshakable. Is he human? Yeah. Could he have done some things better? Yeah. Okay. Did he and I butt head? Not really butt heads. It's just we had a different vision, and as time has gone on, I think he was right. First of all, it's proven. I mean, look at the size of his channel and look at where I am. Was he right? Yeah. It isn't conquering the world. You know, my thing, you know, I come from a very athletic background, and it's about winning. And as time went on, this isn't about winning. It's about your passion for something. What moves you in this industry? You know, what are the things that touch your heart and bring such enjoyment? You know, is there a game that can open your mind? You know, like Sleeping Gods. I just got this in. You know, I didn't know anything about this. It's outside my wheelhouse, and yet, when I played it, I just felt this. Wow, you know, here I am on this great adventure, you know, in my little room here, all right? Or playing something with a group of people, okay? All kinds of different people. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be... You see, people create things. I don't even like saying the word. They create it. By identifying something, they are basically becoming what it is, which is dumb. Why can't we just look at a certain way of things? I'm in the main traffic area today. Okay. When you see a person, why don't you just see him as a person? Doesn't matter how old, young, color, size, anything. Person's a person. And to divide ourselves because of the internet is wrong, I think. Again, this is my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. You see, the difference is what you believe. And I said this to you 100 times before, and I'll say it again. Henry Ford had the best saying in the whole world. And if you really think about it, it's true. There are those that believe they can, and those that believe they can't. Either way, they're probably right. It's what you believe that makes you think you're right. And in your mind, you're right. To me, I just think the right thing is being good to all people. But the good old internet, Brew Geeks, hi, did I miss something? There was a video that came out about 2 weeks ago, and I watched it, and the things because of something that somebody had done under Tom's umbrella, you know, it gets pointed at Tom. Tom allows people to have freedom to say things. Now, if it's representing something, you know, his business, he deals with it. He always has. Tom has dealt with a lot of things. Tom's dealt with a lot of hatred and attacks and things like that. And all Tom cares about is playing games. And you know, there's a lot of people that don't like Tom. Number one, because of his success. Number two, because he can be abrasive and opinionated, but that's his right. Okay, he can be very no. We're going to do it this way, and you know, but what people don't see is the kindness. Okay, look at the money that he raises for his Jack Vasel Foundation over the years. How much money has that man raised to help gamers and other charities and stuff like that? Okay, it was something he was very impassioned about. So much that it grew so much that he handed it off to somebody else. Okay, and you know, spending time with him, learning from him. Okay, I've learned a lot in this particular business. Okay, so much so that I understand that I'm very outdated. Okay? Listen, you're not going to get some kind of channel that is overproduced and everything like that, you know? And, you know, when you look at the quackalopes and things like that just make these beautiful, gorgeous videos, okay? You know, hats off to them. God bless them. Support them. I mean, they do a great job and they get the information out there, okay? Whether you agree with how they do business or not is, you can't take away their plain talent. I'm not that guy. I just think, you know, when I hear things and I see how people just attack each other, instead of talking to somebody saying, hey, why is this way? You know, people go out and make a video and throw people under their bus because they want views, they want clicks, and they want drama because that makes money. That makes money. You know, it's just amazing. You as quick as you rise in some of this is as quick as you can fall. You know, take this Dr. Disrespect thing that recently happened, which I ran by accidentally. I don't know the guy, never really watched anything from him. You know, you get power. Okay, you become a big deal on the internet, and you find a way to mess it up every time because power corrupts. Power corrupts. It always does. You start thinking you're bigger. Very few people can handle power. And I read a book one time, and I think I've said this before 1,000 times, so if I'm saying it again, please forgive me. The greatest people that have run massive corporations are the ones that you don't know their names or anything about them. They're humble, they're quiet, they don't have to be in the forefront, they don't have to let you know that they're the leader. Okay? But the way they do business is that they serve the people. They serve their people. And what do I mean by that? Is they find out what their needs are and they provide the things to make them excel, to bring out the best in individuals. Okay? They provide their people with the tools to bring out the best of them and not make it about themselves. And I forgot the name of a couple of people that I read this book about, a couple of industries and how these people were just, they did not want the spotlight. Not like a Lee Iacocca. Okay, where's he now? You know, he had to be out front there. Yes, he was successful. But can you name all the vice presidents that were under him? Because they were the ones doing the work. Stan Lee, okay, from Marvel Comics, okay? Who really was the guy behind all that? That was Jack Kirby. I really believe that. And I've read and I've listened to some books that say the guy was nothing but a businessman, okay? And he was, you know, a showboater. He had some good ideas. There's no doubt about it. But, you know, later on, he was so intent on Hollywood, which he failed at. And when he was left to his own devices, what did he really write on his own? You know, without Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, where would Stan Lee be? He was the face of the company, you know? But again, another guy that was, instead of giving people what they needed to really excel, even though Marvel Comics was this kind of a weird off the topic thing, Marvel Comics were brilliant. Okay, they could have been so much more. if he kind of stood in the and just created, worried about creating great stories, because there was a while there. Now, when he just kind of, well, I'm going to be the face of Marvel Comics, that the comics really suffered. Instead of those early days when they really had to focus on, can we keep this company alive? And people worried about money. It's a funny thing. Tom is not a Stan Lee. He's a Jack Kirby. I mean, the knowledge that he has. Okay. I've said this before. There were times that he opened up a box, looked at a manual for 5 minutes. He goes, okay, this is part this and part that. And he went, what? He teaches you the game. We start playing it. Okay, so he can go through it a couple times and then do his review. And we went, I would just sit there in amazement. I can't do that. I couldn't do that. Do you want the fan on underneath there, girl? Hold on, folks. We have a system here. All right, there we go. Is that better? Okay. What can I tell you? Most unprofessional channel out there. But I'm me, and that's all I care about. And he gave you everything you needed to succeed. Even me. That's a great leader. Now, does he have his quirks and things like that? Nobody is without fault. But to back up the truck on this guy, and I think is wrong. Very wrong. And if it was the old school days, I'd just knuckle up. But those days are long gone, and I think the way I think is wrong, which, I think I need. I'm not leaving, I'm just backing away, taking a breath, because after yesterday's disgusting display, and the funny thing is, we got news of what happened. Excuse me for a second, I gotta take a sip. And whether you like the guy, that light does that all the time. It's something weird. I'll have to deal with it. Why does it do that? I'm gonna have to take a look at that light, or maybe take it down, and then it comes back on. Maybe it gets too hot or something. I don't know. Whether you like Donald Trump or dislike or despise Donald Trump, okay. What happened yesterday to try to take somebody's life is so wrong. And yet on the internet, and what just made me just totally disgusted was, just another inch and all our problems would have been gone. Who says that? What type of people say that? People that hide behind this. And I'm thinking, if you were out in the schoolyard and you said that, and somebody was strong enough, passionate enough about it, you better put your knuckles up, bud. You better put your knuckles up, because you'd be defending yourself, and you better stand by your word. And some of the things that were said, the disregard for human life. I mean, is that what it's come to? I mean, is that where we're at? Is it right? In the comments here, they would just throw out whatever they want to say. And I don't care what you believe in, or which way you point on the Richter scale. or the scale or whatever this thing is, politically or whatever, to try to take a human life. There was an innocent bystander, just somebody that believed in his words, who were just out there to hear the man speak, lost their lives. People were hurt. And this man was almost killed. Think about that. Does that make it... is your belief so much that you have to take somebody's life cowardly from about 350 yards away? I don't understand. And then it's one thing to put this on one person, the person that did this, okay? But the heinous comments that you would see on the internet, and some of the things that people can say because they're protected, even some of the news media, some of the peoples that despise him were saying certain things. Why? Because they're protected in their homes. They don't have to leave their homes. Their jobs are there. Okay, that's another thing, Well, all I have to do is have internet, and I can say whatever I want because I don't have to leave here. I can have Walmart deliver my groceries. I can have DoorDash bring me my food. I could say whatever I want because I don't have to see people up front. I live behind my gated community or something like that, Just ridiculous. I would love to meet you in person, Rob. Let's make that happen. Matthew, I just don't see that happening, to be honest with you. I'm not somebody that I think I'm to the point where I don't think I'll ever really go to another convention. I think my days I've done it. I was Gen Con 5 years in a row, I think. I did Origin 5 years in a row. It was a lot of fun with the Death Tower. Oh, me and Sam, we used to have so much fun. I've been to the Board Game Geek. I had a wonderful time there. If anyone I would go back to, I like going to the fall edition of Board Game Geek. And I don't know. Maybe I'll talk to Scott and maybe I'll go. I don't know. Hey, Scott, I'd like to come to your convention. Well, that's nice, Rob. See if he's got any rooms that I could purchase from him. Oh God, Keith Collins and I were roommates. He still says I was the best roommate he ever had. I'm always so quiet. I never use the bathroom because I always go to the gym and I clean up and everything there. So the guy had the bathroom to himself. I would get up at before 6 and I'd be in bed before 9. And it was like it's like you didn't even have a roommate. It's like you had the room to yourself. I was just quiet. And it was just one of those things. Let's read some of these comments real quick before I go on too much more. Alexis, every king someday must prepare for succession. Heavy is the brow of he who wears the crown. It's very true. Hi, Rob. Good to see you're back on your feet. Yeah, I'm doing great. Did I miss something? Oh, I think we explained that. You could just put in Tom Vasel drama, and I'm sure stuff will pop up. All kinds of stuff. It's ridiculous. Matthew said, I talked to Sam about the possibility of you two doing a stream together, playing games, and he said he was up to it. You should reach out to him. I've reached out to Sam, and I haven't heard much from him. I tried to help Sam when he was going through a very, very bad time in his life. Now just seeing him happy, for me, that's all I need, Sam's a great guy. I always like Sam. I always will. But we don't really talk that much, which I'm kind of surprised of and disappointed in at the same instance, in the fact that, I thought we were a lot closer than it seems to be. But, he's got a busy life. He's out on the West Coast. I'm here in sunny, overly hot Florida. Stu K, I disagree with folks on the internet all the time. I even disagree with you. Okay. Rob, on certain things. But I'll always listen to the opinions of others. Yeah, sure. I don't expect anybody to agree with everything I say. I don't expect people to like everybody to like me either. Okay? But whether you disagree with me or not, there's no reason to be venomous, unkind, cruel. You could disagree and have a discussion and just say, yeah, I just don't think we see eye to eye. It's when people, get uppity and decide to be hurtful and things like that. I think that's where it goes wrong. That's where it goes horribly wrong. I'm not saying I'm right all the time. There's just no way. There's no way. But I really feel in my heart of hearts that just, being able to say what I feel without being malicious, being kind to others, are some of the most important things. Now, if you want to bow up, then I'll bow up right back. Because another thing is, I'm going to stand my ground. And it's not just here, it's in anything I do in life. Okay? To the point where it annoys my poor, beautiful wife. It really does. I'm from a different time. A very different time. I was the son of a cop. Okay? And my family is Polish and Romanian. And the one thing that we've learned through our heritage is we are the first to stand our ground. And we will. Win, lose, draw, whatever. Let me keep going here. Matthew. I have never met Tom, but I would hold my judgment about anyone until I meet them. I am only an online troll on this channel. That's a good one, Matt. But no, and the reason I'm saying what I say is because I have met him and I've spent many a time with him. And he is a good leader. And he's good to his people. Loves his family. And let's face it, he runs a hell of a business. The Dice Tower is a powerhouse. A powerhouse. And there's no other way around it. I just think when people start throwing things out there and blaming Tom, I don't think that's fair. And some of these hit pieces are just ridiculous because they don't know the man. Okay. I agree, Rob. A lot of commentators are cowards, but I will always defend free speech. Yeah, you should. Let them talk and go on. And that's the problem with things. Why are things being censored? Okay, if somebody censored this video, okay, because they didn't like what I'm saying, that's wrong. Both sides should be heard. All sides should be heard. And then you determine from there. Not this, we're going to throw sand on this because this makes our point invalid. That's a problem. we're losing our free speech. We're losing our ability to communicate. We're losing what the very foundation of a lot of things were. I'm trying to be careful how I say things. And you have to be careful. You have to be careful what you say, because people just want to take things and run with things. And at this point, who needs a headache? But I do feel that I speak my truth, and that no matter what, everybody should be heard, whether you agree with them or not. But it seems that the media loves to cover up things now, because maybe this station believes in one thing, so they're only going to tell you what you want to hear, but not bring the forelight a counterpoint. And the other side will do the complete opposite. And all us as people are just left confused. Like, okay, what's the truth here? Now we just don't believe in anything. We become numb to it. That's such a shame. And it even happens in this business, board gaming. Somebody makes a game and then uses it as a political springboard. Or we want to take and crucify someone. Okay, without hearing every bit of information and being fair. People pass judgment and they cancel people, and it's just it's exhausting. Okay, then I will come out to the farm and help you scoop cow dung. Okay. Slicker Drips, how are you, brother? Hope you're doing well. But like I said, I'm trying to unload a ton of this stuff, and somebody had brought up, why don't I do an eBay store? And I started looking into it. Do you realize that eBay gets 12%? So if you sell something for $100, you are giving them $12 off the top, plus having to transfer the money and all the other stuff. By the time you're done, you're losing almost like 20%, 25%. That's insane. I need to announce this once again. The gentleman who bid on and won Zombicide Dead or Alive All-In Kickstarter. I have not heard back from him. I've sent him numerous emails. Everybody else did their stuff, paid. I got a majority of it out yesterday, believe it or not. I was up all Friday night printing labels. I even printed the guy's label too, which is ridiculous. I don't know if he's away or something, but we're going to give it another day or two. If I do not hear back, if you are interested in the Zombicide Dead or Alive All-In, tell me what you're willing to pay for it, and I will actually eat shipping. I just don't want this big huge box here that I got it all packed up in, and I don't want to put anything back on the shelf. So I'm starting to make headway. You're going to see some videos this week on Dungeon Universalis. I got this box in and a few other things. New challenges. Oscar is the best. We're going to be talking about a game, Shiver Me Timbers. And you got to watch the video because I have actually created my own solo rules for it. And I've been working on them for over a year now. And I'm testing them as we speak. I think Shiver Me Timbers is one of the best pirate games I've ever played. And the reason this came up is I ordered Sea of Legends, and I was kind of like, well, this is really nice, but Shiver Me Timbers is better, just to be honest. It's a funny thing. I wrote that company too. I said, hey, I really like to check this out, and so forth and so on. So I had to get it through Miniature Market, and you'll see the review. We'll take it from there. It's an app-driven game, which is kind of interesting. Dungeon Universalis mentioned. Yeah, I always do. New Challenges has some cool stuff in it. Yes. We'll be talking about that. The tile set. I've got all kinds of stuff here. Watch the video. I forgot to bid on the Octarius box. Yes, somebody did, and they won that. Yes, I sold some board games on eBay recently, and it is ridiculous how much they are taking on top of taxes. See? And then you got to pay taxes on top of it. So if you sell a lot of stuff, you better get the stuff for almost free. Oh, God. How much? What time do we? 56 minutes. Right when I start losing steam, right around an hour, like I always do. But I wanted to clear those things up. And like I said, I'm somebody that's really from a different time, and I think it's hard to get my message across to a lot of the younger folks. And I just hope that this next generation either finds their way or finds a different way. Maybe they just do things better than I could. I just know that my family and everybody here on the farm, my main concern is them. And I wanted to, nobody's speaking out on Tom's behalf. And a lot of people are ignoring some of the situations that are thrown this guy's way. And I think it's a lot of pressure because nobody wants to hear anything negative about themselves, okay, or how they do things. And I just don't think it's fair. I don't think what the person that was working for him, the things that he tried to do were right either. But let Tom handle it. Don't blame Tom, okay? You hire all kinds of different people that have all kinds of different views. There's a lot of people that work for the Dice Tower now. And that isn't on Tom. People have a right to be who they are. But if they attack somebody, then, that has to be addressed too. So I want to make sure that I say that as well. And then, who knows what's true, what's not true anymore. There's, if you have a forum and there's a way to lie on it, people will lie. And that's for doggone sure. Matthew, give me that coin. Okay, let's see. I keep a little thing in there. Matthew's still trying to get that coin. And no, let's see if he gets a Godzilla, though. That's the most important thing. All right, here we go. The big G being stingy. The big G being stingy. But that's what he does. Let's do a 2-hour stream. Oh, God, no. I wanted to... Oh, hold on. Here we go. Morning, Rob. Have you ever heard of Oaken Iron? It's a naval combat game my buddy wants me to play. Yes, I have it somewhere here. It's very, very good. I also have Blood and Plunder that I'm not doing anything. Blackbeard versus Maynard. And I've got a whole bunch of painted pirates too. I should put those ships together. Oaken Iron's a very, very, very good game. Very good game. I think it's made by the same people that did Blood and Plunder. I forgot. It's been a while. James V, my man. What's up, dog? Trying to think what I got going this week. I gotta film that. Sleeping Gods. I gotta film it. I've been playing it so much. I need to film that. And there's a couple other things I wanted to film. Oh, I gotta film this Bat Flip Destiny. The guy finally sent me. I got it in the mail yesterday. Oh, all the trophies and some dice and some card separators. Okay, cool. Alright, so I can finally do that. One more time, he says. Okay, let's see. Nope. Sorry, Matthew. Let's see if he at least gets a Godzilla. My dog just stingy today. My dog is just stingy today. Right, Gab? Right, girl? Okay. Well, speaking of which, she's over laying by the door. She slipped out. Off topic. Oh, off the top of your head, do you know if Little Monk has a sort of all-inclusive starter package for Warhammer Quest 95? Like something for those of us who missed it to get minis and everything we need to play the core game? No, I don't know. Matter of fact, I've got to PayPal my boy some money because he doesn't. He won't give me a price or anything. So I'm going to send some money to him for all the great stuff that he sent. And I've just filmed something that you'll see in August. A nice little playthrough that we did, and it's so good, just so good. I never get tired of that game. But you're going to see a few Warhammer Quest games. I've just been trying to get a lot of stuff kind of situated. Now that I got a majority of that Games Workshop stuff out of here, that I'm just not falling for it anymore unless they do something with Blood Bowl or fix Warhammer Quest. I think the way I'm pointed is I'm just heading in different directions, and I just want to do stuff like the Kingdom Death Monster stuff's gonna go, but I'm gonna wait a month or two because I can't keep on hitting you guys with auctions. I think the thing is, I'm gonna list off a bunch of games, and if anybody's really interested and want to make an offer on things, or are looking for something, email me at novaprime860@hotmail.com. If I'm willing to get rid of it, I'll let you know, and I'll be more than happy to set it up and send it to you. I am such a degenerate, says Matthew. He wants another shot. He needs the Godzilla. Let's see if he won the Kickstarter. No, he did not. I keep on pulling these little ones out. All right, let's see if he can get some music. All right, he can end this day perfectly. Well done, my brother. Well done. Well done. I am going to go. Ha ha ha. Matthew can keep keeping it exciting. All right, so to just sum things up, listen, the channel's going to be here, and we're just going to keep doing our things. I'm just going to do things the old school way. If that works for you, great. If not, I'm happy with where I am. And if this all went away tomorrow, I wouldn't even close. I wouldn't even lose one wink of sleep. But I will tell you this much: I enjoy being here, but I also enjoy saying what I feel inside. And some of the things that have been said about Tom, I think you should just know, in my heart of hearts, that Tom is a great, great man, and somebody that I like a lot. I wish we spent more time together, but that's life. I've watched him. I've admired how he's been through some very, very, very tough things that I don't know if I'd be able to handle mentally. But yet he picks himself up each day, runs his corporation, and is a very successful individual. Okay. When you meet him, you may not understand him. He could be quirky, but inside there is a very good person that when you get to know and understand, and he can trust you, you will find that he is what he portrays himself to be. And that's just being honest. Does he have faults? We all have faults. Okay? It's as simple as that. It's simple as that. But is he the devil himself? No. I don't know why he gets vilified. Same thing with Rodney. Rodney, I talk to a lot more. Really good guy. I unfortunately, I'm all out of an Imperial Guard, but I do have Terminators, and I've got Orc stuff still. I've got these two trash cans for the Orcs. They're fully painted. And I've got a thing full of Orc bosses, and oh god, I got a lot of stuff in here. Man, I got stuff, bro. So I'm just going to go spend some time with my queen and enjoy my day, hopefully. So, John Shepard, my guilts are I spend too much money on wargaming figures. LOL. Matthew, I agree with you, Rob. I think Tom is a good person at heart. All this hate needs to stop. It sure does. Oh, my faults are... Well, we've got more wargaming stuff. We do. Oh, I got too much wargaming stuff. I have to really... That's where it's going to be tough, is just getting it down to... I want to get down to 20 wargames, and that's it. Right now, I've got about 700. And I have the Blood and Steel starter for Achtung Panzer. I'm never going to get to it. I got to move it on. Got a lot of stuff. Just I'm not going to get rid of my Battletech. That'll stay. That's just historic. I missed the part about Tom. If not too sensitive, can someone catch me up in a sentence or two? I googled it and didn't see anything. Just put Tom Vasel drama and you'll see a video by individual who claims to be some award-winning comic artist, which I don't think so. But he has a right to his opinion. I'm just trying to say is this is a guy that I really... Rob, you need to get some Shadows of Brimstone going again. One of my favorite dungeon crawlers of all time. Well, you're going to see some playthroughs, because I taped for my time away, that you will see. You'll see some playthroughs. So be ready for that. All right. And they're broken up. I think there's like 4 or 5 of them, something like that. Can I buy your hat? Is that up for auction? Sure. It's $800 signed. There we go. All right. Listen, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Be yourselves. Don't let anybody tell you can't be. Okay? And be kind to one another. Because that's what we need in the world. kindness, consideration, and a lot of love, because there's a lot of hate. And if we just have both, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. I love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we'll see you next week, like we always do, every Sunday morning. Until next time, it's your old pal. Oh yes, I know you mean I've seen his rants in the past about Eric Lang and social justice people. It's not that I disagree with a lot of it. The Doctor Who stuff is ridiculous, what they're doing and things like that. Instead of just making a good show, it becomes all these political things. It's not that the guy is wrong, It's just, if he doesn't know Tom, don't put out a shock value. I mean, I just wanted to tell you what I thought of Tom. And I think that's what was important. I don't disagree. I just this attacking. There's a way to get things across without attacking people. I just, we don't have to be rude. We don't have to be unkind. We can say what we want to say and just be kind about it and be open for a good response. When people can sit down and discuss things and talk to each other and get points across, I think that's where we make progress. There are things that the guy says he's 100% right. He's 100% right. I don't disagree with it. And I started watching some of the stuff and I go, well, he's not wrong there. Not wrong there. Boy, they're 100% right. He's 100% right. I just think there's a kinder way to talk about certain people, and just, if you know the person, I don't think you can question things, but you can do it kindly, or maybe have an open dialogue discussion and write the guy and go, hey, Tom, is this true? And why is this? Instead of making a video going, well, this guy's, it becomes shock value. It becomes, hey, I'm doing this for clicks. Hey, I'm doing this for money. And then you become invalid, How much is too much? Now, do I claim to know everything? I just know my version of who Tom is. And when somebody says all these things, I go, oh, no, that's not the guy I know. And, I didn't see him this Dice Tower because I didn't go this year. But prior, we sat and we talked for about a good 10-15 minutes. He may not remember it, but we did. And we're talking about grandkids and life and how far we've come and this, that, and the other. And, we were talking about how I overcame my sickness and all this other stuff. And then what happens? I get sick a month later and nearly die. Then I had that thing in my back, and oh God, last fall was brutal. I'm really just hoping to have a good fall this year. I just think, in all honesty, what this whole video is about is just being kind to one another, having open discussions with one another, and not closing off the windows and being hateful and disgusting to each other. But nobody will remember this part of the video, will they? Love you all. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. I think we're going out to breakfast. No, we're not going out to breakfast. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to read a lot of comic books and play a bunch of video games. John. I've met Tom twice at UK Games Expo, and he was polite and seemed like he was a great person. That's the guy. That's the guy, I'm telling you. That's the guy. Okay? That's the guy. Plain and simple. Love you all. Go easy, people. We'll see you next week.